They thought she was just the drone tech, the one who maintained equipment and ran diagnostics, until the pilot went down behind enemy lines and she grabbed manual control. What she did next with that Predator drone defied every regulation and saved a life. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story resonates with you, consider subscribing for more tales of unrecognized heroes. The morning briefing at Creech Air Force Base was running precisely on schedule when Technical Sergeant Maya Volkov entered the Remote Operations Center. Her uniform bore the standard insignia of maintenance personnel: no pilot wings, no combat decorations, nothing that would suggest capabilities beyond keeping complex electronic systems operational. She carried a tablet loaded with diagnostic software and a toolkit that contained specialized equipment for maintaining the most sophisticated unmanned aircraft systems in military inventory. The operations center itself was a marvel of modern warfare technology, filled with workstations where pilots controlled drones operating thousands of miles away in combat zones across the Middle East and Central Asia. Each station represented millions of dollars of equipment capable of conducting surveillance, reconnaissance, and precision strikes with lethal accuracy. The pilots who operated these systems were among the most skilled aviators in the Air Force, selected for their technical competence and ability to make life and death decisions while sitting in climate-controlled facilities half a world away from actual combat. Maya moved through the operations center with practiced efficiency, checking system status indicators, verifying communication links, and conducting the routine maintenance procedures that kept the drone fleet operational. Her work was invisible to the pilots focused on their missions, yet absolutely critical to maintaining the technological edge that allowed American forces to operate effectively in hostile environments where conventional aircraft would face unacceptable risks. At Workstation 7, Captain Jake Morrison was conducting a routine surveillance mission over the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region, monitoring enemy activity patterns and providing real-time intelligence to ground forces operating in the mountainous terrain below. Morrison was a decorated pilot with over 2,000 hours of drone operations, known for his steady performance under pressure and his ability to make precise decisions during complex tactical situations. "Maya," Morrison called without looking away from his multiple monitor displays. "I'm getting some intermittent lag in the video feed from Predator 47. Could you take a look at the data stream when you get a chance?" Maya consulted her tablet, accessing the diagnostic protocols for the aircraft in question. "Probably atmospheric interference from the storm system moving through the region," she replied, making notations in her maintenance log. "I can adjust the signal processing parameters to compensate for the degraded transmission quality." Her fingers moved across the diagnostic interface with practiced efficiency, implementing adjustments that optimized communication links and improved video quality. The work required deep understanding of both the technical systems involved and the operational requirements that determined mission effectiveness. Maya possessed both, though her technical expertise far exceeded what her maintenance role typically required. Morrison nodded his appreciation as his video feed sharpened noticeably. "Perfect. That's much better. You've got a real talent for this technical stuff." Maya continued her rounds without responding to the compliment, though her systematic approach to complex technical problems reflected capabilities that went beyond routine maintenance procedures. Her understanding of the aircraft systems was comprehensive, encompassing not just their mechanical operation, but their tactical applications and operational limitations. At 1030 hours, the routine atmosphere of the operations center was shattered by an emergency transmission from Afghanistan. Captain Chen, piloting Predator 6-2 on a reconnaissance mission near the Pakistan border, reported mechanical failure that would force emergency landing in hostile territory. "Mayday, mayday, this is Viper 6-2, Chen's voice crackled through the communications system. "I have complete engine failure and am going down approximately 15 clicks northeast of FOB Shank. I'm going to try to reach the emergency landing strip, but I don't think I'm going to make it." The operations center erupted into controlled chaos as supervisors coordinated emergency response procedures. Search and rescue helicopters were dispatched immediately, but the mountainous terrain and enemy activity in the region made extraction extremely dangerous. Chen's F-16 had been conducting close air support for ground forces when mechanical failure forced her to eject over territory controlled by hostile forces. Rescue helicopters are en route, reported Major Dennis Park, the Operations Center commander. But weather conditions and enemy activity are going to make extraction extremely difficult. We need real-time intelligence on enemy movement patterns in the area. Morrison immediately redirected his Predator drone toward Chen's last known position, but the distance involved meant that it would take nearly 20 minutes for the aircraft to reach the area where she had gone down. In hostile territory, 20 minutes could mean the difference between successful rescue and capture by enemy forces. "I can get there faster," Maya said quietly, her voice barely carrying over the communications chatter filling the operations center. Major Park looked at her with confusion. "Sergeant, we need aircraft coverage, not technical support." "Predator 5-1 is already in the area," Maya continued, consulting her tablet to verify aircraft positions. "I can redirect it for immediate surveillance and potential tactical support." "Predator 5-1 is a maintenance test flight," Park replied dismissively. "It's not configured for combat operations, and more importantly, there's no pilot assigned to that aircraft." "I can fly it," Maya said simply. The statement stopped all conversation in the immediate area. Technical sergeants didn't fly combat missions. Maintenance personnel weren't certified for tactical operations. The suggestion that Maya could pilot a Predator drone in a combat environment was so far outside normal procedures that it seemed absurd. "Sergeant, you're not a pilot," Park said with exaggerated patience. "Operating these systems requires extensive training and certification that you don't possess." "I understand how the aircraft operates," Maya replied calmly. "Understanding systems and flying combat missions are completely different things," Morrison interjected, though his tone carried curiosity rather than dismissal. "These aircraft require precise control and tactical decision-making under pressure." Maya walked to an unused workstation and began activating the control systems for Predator 5-1. Her movements were smooth, confident, revealing familiarity with the pilot interface that went far beyond technical maintenance. "Captain Chen has approximately 30 minutes before enemy forces reach her position. Rescue helicopters won't arrive for 45 minutes. We need immediate coverage." Major Park moved to override Maya's access to the pilot controls, but hesitated as he watched her systematic activation of aircraft systems. Her procedure was flawless, following protocols that required pilot-level training to execute properly. "Where did you learn those procedures?" Park asked. "Various sources," Maya replied evasively, continuing her pre-flight checklist with practiced efficiency. On the main display screen, Predator 5-1's camera feed activated, showing the mountainous terrain of eastern Afghanistan from an altitude of 15,000 feet. Maya's control inputs were precise, immediately redirecting the aircraft toward Chen's last known coordinates with navigation accuracy that demonstrated intimate knowledge of the aircraft's capabilities. "She's actually flying it," Morrison observed with amazement. "Look at her control inputs. She knows exactly what she's doing." Maya's hands moved across the control interface with the fluidity of extensive experience, adjusting camera angles, monitoring fuel consumption, and calculating optimal flight paths with automatic competence. Her technical knowledge was clearly more comprehensive than her maintenance role would typically require. "How long until you reach Chen's position?" Park asked, his skepticism giving way to professional interest in the emergency situation. 8 minutes, Maya replied, without looking away from her displays. "I'm pushing the aircraft to maximum sustainable speed." As Predator 5-1 approached the crash site, Maya began systematic search patterns that revealed sophisticated understanding of aerial reconnaissance techniques. Her camera work was professional, methodical, covering terrain with efficiency that maximized information gathering while minimizing flight time over hostile territory. "I have visual on the crash site," Maya announced, F-16 impact crater approximately 400 meters north of a small village. No immediate signs of survivor activity, but the ejection seat fired successfully. Her analysis was delivered with the calm competence of someone accustomed to interpreting tactical situations from aerial perspective. The reconnaissance work she was conducting required skills that went far beyond technical maintenance of unmanned systems. "Search and rescue helicopters are still 25 minutes out," reported the communications specialist monitoring rescue coordination. "Enemy patrol activity is increasing in the area." Maya continued her systematic search, expanding her coverage area while maintaining surveillance of the crash site. Her piloting was smooth, professional, revealing training and experience that her personnel file didn't reflect. Movement, 2 clicks southeast of the crash site, Maya reported. Single individual moving slowly toward a tree line. Appears to be injured, but mobile. The figure on the screen was barely visible, but Maya's camera work kept the target centered despite distance and terrain challenges. Her tracking was precise, suggesting experience with surveillance operations under similar conditions. "That's got to be Chen," Morrison said, studying the video feed. "But there's enemy activity converging on her position from multiple directions." Maya's tactical assessment was immediate and comprehensive. 3 enemy vehicles approaching from the east, approximately 6 minutes from Chen's position. 2 foot patrols moving from the south, maybe 10 minutes away. She needs immediate extraction or tactical support. "The rescue helicopters can't operate in that environment with enemy forces present," Park observed grimly. "They'll need the area cleared before they can attempt extraction." "I can provide tactical support," Maya said quietly. "Predator 5-1 isn't armed," Morrison pointed out. "It's a maintenance test aircraft without weapons systems." "It has other capabilities," Maya replied, her fingers moving across control interfaces that Morrison didn't recognize. On the display, Predator 5-1 began descending toward the terrain where Chen was attempting to evade capture. Maya's flying was aggressive, pushing the aircraft's performance envelope in ways that required exceptional piloting skill and intimate knowledge of aircraft limitations. "What are you doing?" Park demanded as he watched the aircraft's rapid descent. "Psychological warfare," Maya answered calmly. "Creating enough confusion and distraction to allow Chen to reach better concealment while delaying enemy search efforts." Maya began flying the Predator at extremely low altitude, using the aircraft's engine noise and visible presence to create false impressions about American response capabilities. Her flying was precise, aggressive, and clearly designed to make enemy forces believe they were facing immediate threat from air support. The psychological impact was immediate and effective. Enemy vehicles stopped advancing, their occupants evidently concerned about potential airstrikes. Foot patrols took defensive positions, disrupting their systematic search for Chen and buying precious time for rescue operations. "The rescue helicopters are 5 minutes out," reported communications. "Chen's position is marked, and enemy forces have been disrupted enough to allow extraction attempt." Maya maintained her tactical flying, keeping enemy forces suppressed through presence and intimidation while providing continuous surveillance of rescue operations. Her piloting during this phase was exceptional, requiring capabilities that far exceeded anything expected from maintenance personnel. "Rescue successful," came the transmission from the extraction team. "Chen is aboard and we're clear of hostile territory." Maya immediately began climbing Predator 5-1 to safe altitude, her mission accomplished through flying that had saved an American pilot's life. Her performance had been flawless, demonstrating capabilities that transformed the operations center's understanding of her background and qualifications. "Sergeant," Major Park said, as Maya secured the aircraft systems, "where exactly did you learn to fly like that?" Maya completed her post-flight procedures before responding. "I've had some training in unmanned systems operations." "That wasn't basic training," Morrison observed. "That was professional-level piloting under combat conditions. You flew that aircraft like someone with extensive tactical experience." Maya began gathering her technical equipment, preparing to return to her maintenance duties. "I've studied the operational procedures as part of understanding the systems I maintain." "Studying procedures and flying combat missions are completely different things," Park pressed. "Your performance today demonstrated capabilities that suggest formal pilot training and significant operational experience." Maya paused in her equipment gathering, considering how much to reveal about her background. "I had some flight training before transferring to maintenance duties." "What kind of flight training?" Morrison asked with obvious curiosity. "Various programs," Maya replied evasively. Park activated his secure terminal, accessing Maya's classified personnel file through channels that revealed information beyond standard maintenance records. What he found there explained her exceptional performance while raising new questions about the utilization of her capabilities. "Sergeant Volkov," Park said carefully after reviewing her classified background, "your file contains information that requires special clearance to access. You've been significantly underutilized in your current maintenance assignment. Maya's expression didn't change, but her posture suggested awareness that her background was no longer completely private. Sir, my current assignment serves important functions. Important? Yes, but not optimal utilization of your demonstrated capabilities, Park replied. Would you be interested in transitioning to operational duties that utilize your pilot qualifications? The offer represented a return to work that would draw upon capabilities Maya had thought permanently set aside. Yet, acceptance would require acknowledging aspects of her background that she had deliberately kept private during her years of maintenance service. I'll need time to consider the implications, Maya said finally. Take the time you need, Park replied, but understand that pilots with your demonstrated capabilities are rare, and the Air Force needs people who can perform under pressure when lives are at stake. That afternoon, word of Maya's exceptional performance began spreading through Creech Air Force Base. Personnel who had viewed the maintenance technician as simply technical support began understanding that her quiet competence had concealed pilot capabilities of the highest caliber. The impossible rescue mission became a case study in adaptive tactical thinking and the importance of utilizing available capabilities regardless of standard organizational structures. For Maya herself, it represented proof that exceptional skills remained intact despite years of administrative routine that had provided both stability and professional frustration. Captain Chen, safely recovered and debriefed, specifically requested to meet the pilot who had conducted the tactical support that enabled her rescue. When she learned that her savior was the maintenance technician she had barely noticed during routine operations, her understanding of the base's human resources was fundamentally altered. "I owe you my life," Chen said during their meeting. "That flying was exceptional, better than anything I've seen from pilots with decades of experience." Maya's response was characteristically modest. "I was just utilizing available resources to support the rescue operation." "That was significantly more than resource utilization," Chen replied. "That was professional piloting at the highest level under combat conditions." Within a week, Maya had received formal offers to transition from maintenance duties to operational pilot assignments that would utilize her demonstrated capabilities. The offers represented recognition of skills that had remained hidden during her years of technical service. Colonel Sarah Rodriguez, commanding officer of the 432nd Wing, personally reviewed Maya's classified file and requested a private meeting. Rodriguez had been following the rescue mission closely, understanding its implications for personnel utilization policies. "Sergeant Volkov, your performance during the Chen rescue was exceptional," Rodriguez began. "I've reviewed your complete file, including classifications that reveal training not reflected in your current assignment." Maya maintained her professional demeanor. "Ma'am, my current maintenance duties serve important functions for mission readiness." "Important, yes, but grossly underutilizing capabilities that could save lives," Rodriguez replied. "Your file shows pilot training and operational experience that places you among our most qualified personnel." The conversation represented acknowledgement of background elements Maya had deliberately kept private. Her specialized training contained sensitive information that had necessitated career changes beyond her control. "Ma'am, there were circumstances that led to my maintenance assignment that haven't been resolved," Maya said carefully. "Those circumstances have been reviewed and are no longer disqualifying for operational duties," Rodriguez clarified. "Medical clearances have been updated and security reviews confirm your eligibility for return to pilot status." The revelation that administrative barriers had been removed was unexpected. Maya had assumed the factors leading to her maintenance assignment were permanent limitations. "I'll need time to consider the implications," Maya replied. "Take the time you need, but understand that your capabilities represent exactly what our expanding drone operations require. Experienced pilots who can perform under pressure and make decisions that save lives." 2 weeks later, Maya requested a meeting with Colonel Rodriguez to discuss transition to operational duties. Her decision had been influenced by recognition that her skills could serve purposes more important than personal preference for anonymity. "Ma'am, I'm prepared to accept operational pilot assignment, subject to certain conditions regarding my service history," Maya said. "What conditions?" Rodriguez asked. Details of my earlier assignments remain classified and should not be discussed in training contexts. Students can benefit from my knowledge without accessing sensitive background information. Rodriguez nodded, understanding the security considerations. Those conditions are acceptable. When could you begin transitioning? I need 3 weeks to train my replacement and ensure continuity of technical support. After that, I'm available for pilot duties. The transition marked Maya's return to operational flying after years of technical service. The impossible rescue mission had reminded her of capabilities that circumstances had forced her to set aside. Maya's first operational assignment involved training new pilots in advanced tactical procedures. Her combination of technical knowledge and operational experience provided instruction that elevated pilot capabilities beyond standard programs. The rescue mission became legendary within the drone pilot community, discussed as an example of adaptive thinking and resource utilization. For Maya herself, it represented proof that exceptional skills could find expression even within administrative limitations. Captain Chen, whose life Maya had saved, became advocate for utilizing hidden capabilities throughout military personnel. Her experience demonstrated that life-saving skills might be concealed within unexpected assignments. Maya Volkov had transitioned from maintenance technician to operational pilot, her impossible rescue having revealed capabilities that now served to enhance mission effectiveness. Her years behind technical workstations had provided foundation for contributions that extended far beyond routine maintenance.